Hey everybody, it is noon and it's Wednesday. It's time for Straight Talk. Woohoo! So you'll notice that the little tagline theme I put on is "Are you coachable?" What does that even mean? Coachable, right? Like, what does it mean to be coachable? It's interesting because I've been reading a lot about success strategies lately. And there's literally two behaviors that distinguish successful people who reach their goals and unsuccessful people, people that don't meet their goals. And those two behaviors are really, really important. The first one is one I talk about all the time, and that is write your goals down. If you aren't writing your goals down, you probably aren't meeting your goals. And if you are meeting your goals, but you're not writing them down, then your goals are probably not big enough. So that's the first thing. The first thing that you need to do if you want to be successful and meet your goals is you actually have to write them down, keep them in front of you, and be intentional about them. And we'll talk about that one another time. The second thing, which is really the single most crucial thing besides writing your goals down, is being coachable. Now, what does being coachable mean? Being coachable means not necessarily having a coach, although that's great. And there are tons of great coaches out there. But what being coachable means is actually being open to coaching, being open to people giving you critique, being open to people correcting you, having basically a mindset of growth. So if you're somebody that has a mindset of growth, what's the result of that? You're going to grow. You're going to expand. You're going to get better at what you do. Notice all the great athletes, what do they have? A coach. Now, the coach may not be somebody who, like for instance, Michael Jordan. So Michael Jordan is probably the best basketball player of all time. Now, you can argue that. Those of you that love basketball, I do not. So I'm picking Michael Jordan because I like him. Michael Jordan is probably the best basketball player of all time. Now, his coaches, he's had several coaches. Are his coaches better basketball players than him? No, they aren't. But what they can do is help him distinguish. They can be on the outside of on the sidelines of the court, watching how he plays the game and evaluate how he could do it better. So basically, a coach is your eyes and ears for how you're living your life, how you're reaching your goals, how you're playing the game of life, and how you could improve. Now, in order to be coachable, you have to have a mindset of growth, right? You have to be somebody that is open to coaching. You have to be somebody that is willing to listen for gold, like mining gold. So you really need to be listening for what will make a difference in your life, what will make a difference for you in being able to achieve your goals. And it's really interesting because this isn't really the way that most people listen to others in their lives. We don't listen for people, we really listen to them. But listening for is actually a great habit and a great way of empowering people around you to not only give you feedback and contribute to you, but also it's imperative to having a mindset of growth. You need to listen for people around you because hopefully, I know not all of us have great support structures with amazing people that love us and pour into us, but we all have at least a few of those people. And those are the people that you need to be listening for. Like, you've set them up in your environment for a reason. It's because you love and respect them, you trust them. So if you have people in your life that you love and respect, those are the people that you need to be listening for. Like, you say, listen, how is it, I'm struggling with this issue right now. What do you see that I could do better? What are the things that you see that I could grow in? That's what having a growth mindset is. So if you have a growth mindset and you're listening to people in your life and you're really listening for those nuggets of gold that they have for you on how to improve, then you're already 2/3 of the way to being extremely coachable. The third thing is just really being open to others' input. We are put in situations all the time that are trying and difficult and hard. And there is always nuggets of gold in failure. Anytime that you're failing, there is something in that failure that has you, that is a lesson for you. It's something you can learn. It's something you can grow from. And going back to the mindset, if you have a mindset of growth and you're really interested in growing and improving every single day, and you're listening to people that you trust, then the natural third progression is that you're going to be open to that input, and you're going to look at how you can implement that input in your life when you're failing or when you're struggling. Now, the hard part comes when we think we're doing just fine. When we think that we're doing a good job and we're moving along, and someone says, hey, I noticed this thing, and if you could just tweak that a little, it would make a huge difference. Or most likely what people will do before they move into something that is coaching, they'll say, hey, I noticed that you are having this issue, and, do you need help with that? They'll ask you permission. So take advantage of that. The people that you have in your life, and even some of the people that aren't necessarily like in your circle of trust, because those people that we're talking about that you're listening for and that you love and that support you in your life, those are people that are like inside your circle of trust. But you can actually mine for gold outside of your circle of trust, because when we're in classes, when we're at our jobs, when we're in meetings, when we're just living life, there's opportunities for coaching all around us. Anytime that somebody has feedback for us, it's an opportunity to be coached. Now, the key to this, though, is being coachable, not being a chameleon. I'm not saying that every single person in your life has great advice for you, because that is not true. But you can almost always find great advice in every bit of advice that you get. If people say, I'll give you a good example. I always bring up my mom and makeup because she always wants me to wear makeup. Sorry, Mom, no makeup today. So my mom always is like, you're not going to go out like that, are you? You really should put makeup on. You look so pretty with makeup. Like, she really loves for me to have makeup on. Now, this is something that has driven me crazy for decades. I'm almost 50 years old, and she's probably been saying this since I was at least 18. Okay, so we'll say 18. So one of the things about this is that this is something that I don't hear as coaching. I hear it as criticism, right? My mom is just being critical of me. No, actually, what she's saying is that you look prettier and you look more professional with makeup. And the fact is that is true. It is. I don't like that it's true, but I do. When I put on a suit and I'm going to give a presentation, I would never think of going on a stage or going to a podium without having makeup on, because it does lend itself to me being presented at my best, dressed nicely, with makeup on, intentional, well done, looking successful. And whether you like it or not, people in the world have certain opinions. And if you want to be successful, you need to adhere to those opinions. So every time that I hear that, my mom say that about makeup, what I can do is I can shift my listening. And instead of hearing it as being critical, I can hear it as being coaching. Oh, you know what? She's right. I should wear makeup more when I'm in a professional setting. Like now, perhaps. That's how you flip something to taking it as coaching. Now, why this is important is because we spend all of our days navigating other people's conversations about us. And if you can start having other people's conversations about you empower you, rather than me here, and this is this is a small example of what it is to be coachable. It's something in your everyday life. Whether I wear makeup or not is not going to change my life. But there are opportunities every single day where people are giving us feedback and giving us ideas and giving us coaching, that if we hear it that way, it literally could transform parts of our lives. And they're bigger things than wearing makeup. And that's where the magic is in this conversation, is if you're being coachable in your life, if you're listening to your environment and not in a way where you're beating yourself up. We all have toxic people in our lives. Those are not the people you get coaching from, is toxic people. I'm talking about the people in your life that love you and have your best interest at heart. They have great coaching for you every single day. You just need to be able to distinguish it and not hear it as criticism. So that's one way of being coachable. Another way of being coachable is actually hire a coach. If you have a huge goal, hire a coach. I have a business coach. I am a business coach, a business and life coach. So what kind of person would I be if I didn't have a coach to do that. And I actually have several coaches. I have a business coach, I have an online coach, I have all sorts of different coaches in my life. What are the coaches that you have in your life? Who do you have around you that is giving you feedback on how to grow? How intentional are you about being coachable in your life? Because again, going back to those two behaviors that separate successful people from unsuccessful people is writing down their goals and being coachable. So if you are intentional about being the best basketball player in the world, like Michael Jordan, or being the best accountant in the world, or being the best mother in the world, or being the best whatever you want to be in the world. Maybe you are interested in running a marathon or a triathlon for the first time. Maybe you're interested in losing weight and changing your fitness. Then get a coach. If you're up to big things, being coachable is important in your ability to grow. Because the thing is that you can get coaching every day in your life from the people around you, and that's going to make a huge difference. But if you want to put your results, you want to produce results at an exponential rate, hiring a coach who's somebody that every single week, or even just getting a coaching arrangement with someone who is great at kind of analyzing how to produce results, is great at being able to take a goal, and then raise it exponentially. The other thing that does is it gives you accountability, because a goal without a coach can oftentimes turn into a pipe dream. You don't have anyone holding you accountable. You don't have anyone who's partnering, and accountability partners are a great easy way to go when you have a goal and you have a friend who will hold you accountable and speak truth to you, and you will do that for them. That's a great way to get in a coaching relationship that could literally advance your growth. So that's the question right now. So how many people, and I'll tell you, I've coached thousands of people, and I've probably fired less than 10, but a good amount of people that in my coaching practice, because they were not coachable. And these are people that have sought me out, hired me, they've paid me money to help coach them. And then what happened is, when the rubber hit the road and we started talking about what they needed to do to actually produce results, they weren't coachable. They either didn't agree with what I said and thought I was wrong. They thought they knew everything and they didn't want to be knocked down off that perch, kind of. And they weren't really willing to be vulnerable to look at, how can I grow? How can I change? How can I get better? Because the truth is none of us are perfect, right? None of us know everything. None of us know how to get everything we want in life, or we would already have it. So being coachable is a natural progression for someone who is interested in being successful. If you want to be successful, you have to be coachable. You can still achieve a level of success if you're not coachable. But there will come a time when you are beating your head against the wall and you can't get past a certain point of success because you aren't being coachable. I truly believe that. I think that in life what happens is we go along and we achieve all the things that we can achieve, and we may achieve very little and be happy with it, or we may achieve a lot. But there comes a time where we go along, and we're working on things, but then we come up against something that is a wall, and we hit it hard and we can't knock it down. That is a sign that you need coaching and you need support to get over something, so that you can keep progressing and growing. If you don't have a mindset of growth and you are not coachable, you will just keep hitting that wall and it will never move. So if you're in that place right now, if you're in a place where you're stuck, you're struggling, and you can't get past a certain point, I'm going to say, are you coachable? Maybe you're not being coachable. Maybe you're not pushing hard enough to get past that point. Maybe you don't have an accountability partner or somebody who is supporting you to push past it. Maybe you hit it once and you've given up. All of those areas, all of those circumstances are times when you definitely need a coach. So I'm going to encourage you, look today, are you being coachable in every area of your life? Are there things where people, maybe you're hearing a common theme over and over and over in your life? Oh, this person got upset with me because of this. And then it keeps happening. And then no matter what happens, you keep going, keep going, keep going. And that same theme keeps coming up. Well, guess what? If something is happening over and over and over with 20 different people, there's one person that is common in all those relationships. It's you. It's me. That's what's common. So if you keep experiencing the same you keep producing the same result over and over and over again, there's a lesson for that in you. And there's something that you're not hearing that you need to in order to get that lesson. And if you are somebody who's willing to do that and to be coachable and to hear that lesson, then there is absolutely no limit to the results and success that you can produce in your life. Because going back to the first part of the conversation, the two behaviors that determine success in your life are you writing down goals and being intentional towards them? And two, are you being coachable? And are you coachable to produce results? If you are, then the sky is the limit. So work on that this week. I want you to actually evaluate, listen, am I being coachable in my life? And take a look at it. Are there areas I'm not being coachable? Because, you could be very coachable in two compartments of your life, but not be very coachable in another. Maybe you're very coachable in your marriage and very coachable at your job, but you're not so much coachable at losing weight. Or maybe you're coachable with all of the things in your life, but not necessarily at how you parent. So look at, what is that holdout? Do you have one holdout area in your life where you're not being coachable? And what would happen this next week if you started listening for the people in your life and listening for those, mining for that gold, listening for those nuggets of coaching? And what difference could it make in your life? I'd love to hear what successes you're having, what aha moments you've had. Please don't stop PMing me. I love hearing those things. Or put them right in this feed, comment in this feed. What is an area that you have been uncoachable about that you're willing to take on the next week and be coachable? So it's Wednesday, hump day, woohoo! We're halfway through the week. Make your week and your weekend amazing and just keep challenging yourself and keep that mindset of growth.